Remington Golden Saber 9mm versus 38 Special Plus P. I'm going to do a short barrel test today. I'm going to use my Taurus G2C 3.2 inch barrel for the 9mm. Taurus 605 2-inch for the 38 Special. And you know, about 3.2 inch versus a 2-inch revolver is almost identical bullet travel. Interesting ammo here with the Remington Golden Saber. And before you say it, I know a lot of people do this to me. They're like, that's not fair because that's a 38 plus P and that's a standard pressure 9mm. Well, standard pressure 9mm maxes out at 35,000 psi. 38 Special Plus P maxes out at 20,000 psi. A lot of times all you can get in any defensive load for 38 Special is a plus P, and a lot of times the only thing you can get in the 9mm is a standard pressure, and you know, that's what I could find. But interesting ammunition here. Now, I believe that Vista Outdoors bought Remington, and they had some quality control issues, and they're kind of back now in a lot of ways. You can actually see with the bullet, not the bullet, the box design, that they've changed a little bit. You know, you got that bright yellow and that dark green. Reminds me of being a kid, and my dad and brother had boxes of Remington Express 3030, 444 laying around, and they're always in boxes like this. But the Golden Saber is very interesting ammunition. By the way, the 9mm is a 124 grain, the 38 plus P is a 125 grain, so very close on that in that regard. It's very interesting ammunition because the way the bullets are designed, they're undersized. Like for this 38 Special, it's like a .348 diameter bullet, something like that, 0.348. And the reason for that is because it's a brass jacket, and brass is like twice as hard as copper, so you have a very hard surface. So what they have to do here is they make the bullet like 348, and then there's a band, which you can't see, it's inside the case, and that band is very thin, like that thin, you know, probably 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, something like that. And that band is 0.357. So that allows for, you know, rifling contact and gases to seal in. And this is an okay design because that case mouth roll crimps over that band. In the 357 Magnum version, it's really a bad design because you can get bullet creep and stuff like that. I've had that happen. But anyways, 9mm versus 38 Special Plus P. We're going to go through the chronograph, see what kind of velocity and accuracy we get at the same time. Then I'm going to hit my 10% clear ballistic block here. I'm going to do plain clear ballistics to see what the best potential is of these cartridges and see if they perform in these short barrels. I'm using those short barrels because, you know, I could have went longer, but that's what's most common for most people. And then after I do my real world test here, or my best potential test here, where it's just plain clear ballistics, then I'm going to do real world, where I'm going to do 4 layers of denim on the first part of this block here, which is 3 inches. This represents our pectoral muscle. After that, I have a 1/4 inch medium density fiberboard that's going to represent hitting ribs or sternum. And then we'll go into the clear ballistics, and we'll see how it compares that way in our real world simulation. And then I am going to shoot at my steel to see what kind of practical accuracy I can get with these. So let's get started with this test. You ever wondered, when I wear a hat like this when it's cold, I have earplugs on underneath this. This is just kind of secondary because it doesn't seal it very well. But our 9mm is rated at 1125 feet per second. Our 38 Special is rated at 975. The industry standard for stuff like that is generally a 4-inch barrel. So 1125 feet per second is what we have rated for our 9mm. Let's see what we actually get here. 1083, 1093, 1088, 1090, 1104. So considering the velocity is 1125, 4-inch barrel probably, and we're 3.2 inch, that's not bad. That's about right. 38 Special, this is rated at 975, again probably through a 4-inch barrel. Let's see what I get my 2-inch here. 880, 933, 903, 974, 859. Not consistent whatsoever. Case ejection, it's fine. I assumed it would be. Remington brass is oftentimes pretty thin. Ejects pretty easy. So let's start ballistics shell block and see what we get with these. All right, let's do our best potential plain clear ballistics test, 9mm. All right, let's hit that with that 38 Special now. Let's take a look. All right, kind of surprising here. I honestly didn't think that 38 was going to expand. It's going so slow, but you know, there's no denim in the way, no barrier like that. And what we have here is good expansion. Looks like pretty relatively good instant expansion with our 9mm, because I see a lot of cutting right away, which is very, very good. I'm seeing that with the 9mm. We have a penetration of 15 inches, which is pretty good. Our 38 Special, it doesn't appear that we have as much cutting. It does look like we have some instant expansion this first 3 inches, but then once we enter the second gel block, the cutting seems to be a little bit less, probably meaning that the bullet's expanded less. Back of this block, the parallax, where I line up my fingers, you guys are going to think I'm wrong, but from my angle here, we're at about 11¼ inches. A little bit shallow, but still, I think that's fine. Let's put on our denim and our MDF and see how they compare that way. All right, so here's more of our real world simulation. We have 4 layers of denim, 3 inches of clear ballistics, 1/4 inch medium density fiberboard. Let's see what this 9mm does. All right, let's hit that with our 38 Special now. Let's go take a look. All right, so interesting here. We have a little bit different performance, but kind of similar in a lot of respect, because we can see in those first 3 inches, or at least I can see, that rapid expansion just isn't there. Yeah, so when we go through our rib simulation, no expansion right there with either of these. So a lot of rounds will go through that denim, not clog, and rapid expand up here. But that's a clear indication of clogging, because I can definitely see denim up in the track right there. But what we have for a 9mm isn't bad. We have about 15½ inches, so very consistent, and we do have a lot of damage in there, so there is some expansion once we got in here. Now with our 38 Special, what happened is we did not get expansion other than just a little bit of nose deformation. So we went in right about here, went straight, tumbled about here, bullets backwards. You know, it still did a lot of damage because the length of that 38 bullet is actually as wide as a lot of expanded hollow points. So when it tumbles through, it can slow down and cause a lot of damage. But what we're looking at here with that is about 12¼ inches. So what I'm going to say here is both of them are basically acceptable. You could definitely do a lot better for 9mm and 38 Special and carry guns, but I'm gonna say these aren't too bad, because you know, we got adequate penetration. We didn't get over penetration. You know, looks okay. So let me shoot up my steel, see what kind of practical shootability I can get with these. All right, so here's our bullets through our plain gel here. Here's our 9mm, here's our 38 Special. Both got pretty good expansion. And one thing here is the reason why I do plain clear ballistics, no denim or anything like that, is because I used to get a lot of comments from people. They would see me test something where I would always use medium density fiberboard and always use denim, and they would be like, well, this person tested it, so it did excellent. So your gel is wrong because it's not expanding like this person or that person. And I got kind of fed up with that, because they're not understanding that, you know, these other people that I saw testing the ammo they're talking about, they were just doing plain gel, no denim even. So I decided to add this part here so people could see what's going on here. So our 9mm, excellent expansion. Our 38 Special, pretty good expansion, not quite as big as the 9mm, but pretty good. Now when we go through our denim and our medium density fiberboard, our 9mm turns from that to this. Not a whole lot of expansion. Half of it didn't expand. And with our 38 Special, you know, we might have a little more size on that right there, but no expansion. That's partially going to account for the tumbling. One side expands, it loses its stability to go forward and starts tumbling. But like I said before, when you look at like the width of this bullet here, you know, it's wider than that expanded, or the length of this bullet tumbling is wider than the expanded width of that hollow point there. So it's not bad overall when it does that, plus it lowers the penetration, so it's not like a complete fail. What I would consider to be a fail is if this were to just go through 2 gel blocks you know, it's a flat nose FMJ. That's not going to do a lot of damage. This is going to do a lot of damage, even though you're not seeing beautiful flowers here. So both of these are okay, but not super impressive. So that's what you get looking at these bullets up close. All right, I'm 12 yards from the target here, 9mm. Let me see what I can do here. Pull it up, just get a quick sight picture, pop them off, see what it looks like. All right. Not really aiming much, just kind of popping them off. So 38 special. Let's see what this will do. That's one. One thing I'm noticing about this ammo is they shoot completely differently. Our 38 special has a very big boom sound. It's interesting the way it sounds. It doesn't sound typical for 38, at least to my ears. 9mm sounds normal. It's just a normal 9mm snap sound. Let me back it up and aim a little bit better. All right, 40 yards from the target. Let's just see how these do for me. Interesting. I have no idea where those went. Normally I hit every shot from here. I was just aiming center mass and letting them go. I don't know what's going on with that ammo. 38 special. Let's see what this does. Again, I normally hit every shot from this distance. I don't know what's going on. I know a lot of new people get in here and start giggling. Ha ha ha. It's all you. They don't understand. They just don't get it. But let me slow it down, try to figure out where these are going, because both these rounds are just not hitting. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything that's consistent for me. I don't know where the point of aim was and impact with that 9mm. I couldn't see, but that's the whole point of doing the 40 yards here, is not to necessarily find out where they're hitting. But with that Dickens situation, it's important to just get a sight picture, get a good aim, fire them, see if you can hit. And if you can't hit, that I start questioning that ammunition quite a bit. Like, why is it not hitting? That's 40 yards is pretty easy for me. So interesting ammunition overall. I'm going to say it's not the best ammo I've ever seen by far. I'm not really seeing anything that's particularly consistent. You know, they got the brass jacket. That was pretty big in law enforcement for a long time because it can defeat hard barriers. However, they're not bonded bullets or anything like that. So you got the hard jacket. You got that going for it. If I shot through auto glass, it'd probably do okay, better than some with less deformation. But that also makes it hard to expand through normal barriers, just like fabric and whatnot. So very inconsistent velocity, inconsistent accuracy for me anyways. I'm just not seeing anything that's particularly consistent with this stuff. You know, it's loaded by, you know, new management, but I'm just not impressed. So that's what you get today. Golden Saber 9mm versus 38 plus P. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.